Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Lunch Table Podcast. And in this episode, we're finally reviewing Season 4 of Succession, now streaming on HBO Max. This is my favorite show. We have plenty of thoughts to say about it. But let me tell you something. Spoilers ahead, everybody, because we are going in. Dylan, why don't we get started with you?
يا مرة سدا وعلدك ابني كسي شرموطي والله كحبة. But yeah, it's great to see the Roy gang back. It seems like everything's kind of like at war now. Because now they're kind of doing their own thing. They're no longer with Logan. And it's interesting because like Logan in this episode seemed like very isolated. And it's his birthday in this episode. So he's surrounded by all these people. But it feels like very artificial, and it feels like he's like missing something out of his life, and I wonder if like he's kind of missing the kids in a way, or at least like having them around. Right. But yeah, tell me what your thoughts were for this episode.
Yeah, well, no matter what, at the end of the day, that's still his family, and we see a scene later on where he gets to speak to Culkin, and Cullen's the person who just strictly does his job. It's not an actual friend, but he feels, I think in a way, he's very narcissistic. He has a big ego, and he feels more comfortable talking to Culkin because it's like, you know, at least I could ask rhetorical questions. I could do this, I could do that, and no one's going to judge me for it. And so we get to see this here in this episode. But to start though, so the kids, they are trying to start a new business called The 100. Really strange. But they're kind of afraid that it's too small to compete with Logan. So instead now they want to aim for Pierce. And so this is, in general, what the episode is about. It's like this back and forth, negotiating for billions of dollars. Like who will bid the most to buy Pierce. But since you watched finally season 3, if you guys remember a long time ago, me and Dylan, I was trying to get him on and he never got on. Let me get your thoughts finally on seeing the kids back together and the whole little dynamic.
It was, as Tom says, it's heartening. It's heartening.
Yeah.
No, but I loved it. It's like the Rebel Alliance. They're kind of they're trying new things, right? I think they were so used to being under the shadow of their dad.
Right.
It's kind of strange for them to have their own ideas in a way. And look, they're even trying to make a news media outlet. That's all they know, right? Is television and news coverage. I thought that beginning scene was so funny though, because when they were pitching the brand proposal, because I've done that before for my graphic design classes. So yeah, they're trying to go for bigger fish, and they're trying. Well, they overhear about the open acquisition for Pierce. If anybody doesn't remember from, I think it was season 2. Pierce was the other rival news media family. So it looks like Pierce now is kind of trying to get out of financial crisis. So they are also opening the bid for Waystar. So this whole episode was basically a bidding war between the kids and their dad, and I thought it was so interesting because it takes place on his birthday.
And it started that way too, the whole show. So that's crazy,
right? Yeah, and they didn't even like call to say like happy birthday because they're still kind of mad about what happened in the last season.
Right.
Yeah, it was so funny. And then we see Greg has like a new side piece now. I don't know.
Yeah.
And apparently
so funny.
They did the nasty in Logan's like wine cabinet or something.
Yeah,
on camera.
Whatever the fuck. Yeah, it was so hilarious too because there was like cameras all around the room and stuff. I mean, we get that. Yeah, again, Succession is great because how funny it is. At the same time too, it feels very improv-y, and I think in many ways they do improv here and there.
Let me ask you, what did you think of Tom this episode, and what do you expect we'll see for this season? Because he kind of played like a Judas in season 3,
right? And
now he's kind of trying to get in bed with Logan a bit, and it seems like now he's kind of splintered off from Shiv. So what do you expect we'll see from him this season?
Well, yeah, I think it's really complicated because Shiv has done nasty things as well. She wanted a non-monogamous relationship, and you know Tom wasn't for that. But then now all of a sudden Tom is like, which I really don't know. There's a lot of hearsay and it seems like time has jumped apparently, because now Naomi isn't with Kendell anymore, and I was like, what? And so apparently she's seeing Tom, but he's not implying directly that he's like having sexual relations with her all the time. He just says we just go out or whatever. But that's really weird too. So yeah, and I love how Siobhan, she is not now like in that position of power. Now she is on her own basically, and I think she kind of finds it a little bit attractive. She's like a sick puppy in that sense. Like she somewhere inside of her, she finds that attractive that Tom is now being a little bit more powerful. But at the same time too, Tom is Tom. So then later on we see he offers sex. And so that little sliver of power, she'll try to like she said, no, I don't think so, or whatever like that. She tries to regain it. I really wonder if we're going to see this tug of war throughout the whole season. And I wonder how the Pierce family will handle it, because Siobhan announced that they are going to get a divorce. So I don't know like if there's something to redeem here in this marriage. Possibly not. It's really complicated though. It's like everybody is kind of in polar opposites, yet you still have so much contact, and you have no choice legally as well to have this contact because of their marriage. Really interesting. I wonder if this will be the downfall of Logan. I wonder, because people will actually to the kid's side instead of Logan's at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. It seems like he's kind of starting to slip a little bit as well. And that's why he took the walk in the park, I think, to reflect too. And as we saw in the trailer at the end of this episode, we also seen some snippets of Logan walking around in ATN, and it looks like now he's trying to figure out how to make it a little bit better. Like he just wants to fire some people and replace them with, I don't know, some stuff that's better to probably compete with Pierce a little bit later on. So, but by foregoing kind of like your philosophy that you had forever, your brand, in a way, you're kind of allowing Pierce to win. Because then you ostracize your members already. You ostracize the audience from right
Fuck
now.
my feet.
Yeah.
Your target demographic, right?
You just ostracize them. So in a way, it's like a losing battle. And I think, I still wonder who's going to win at the end of this. I don't know. But yeah, tell me more of your thoughts. I want a little change.
Well, no, those are great points to it. I also wonder because they did acquire that tech company from, I believe his name was Madsen, played by...
Gojo. Yeah,
Gojo. So I wonder too if there's going to be like a conflict, because Logan is very old school. He's very traditional, news media outlet. So I wonder if there's kind of like this language barrier that he has from acquiring big tech, because he doesn't understand it, and he doesn't have the kids anymore. Yeah. So it's going to be harder for him to be comfortable around this new market, right? And it was also interesting too, like how he kind of like described people as markets in a way, and not as like families. Because he's so big on family, like the idea of family. But now it just seems like he's kind of like, he's lost everybody. Anybody that was like, he had like a meaningful relationship, like Marsha, she's gone. Yeah. And now the kids are gone. I mean, he still has like Connor, but that's Connor. I mean, Greg is just like this kind of mooch. I mean, all he has really is Tom, and Tom is kind of just like his son-in-law. It's not even his real son. So,
well, what about Carrie? Like, I wonder if she's still trying. Like, are they trying to get pregnant still? That's what I'm wondering too. Like, maybe that'll be a surprising thing that comes up a little later on.
I mean, it could just be like she's filling that void for Marsha, I guess.
Right.
Because it feels like a very artificial relationship. Because he's done that in the past with what was her name, Raina, from the Pierce family too. Right. So he kind of has like this toxic addiction to like, I guess, powerful women in a way.
They're accessories too, I think. It's just something. Yeah,
that's all it is. But I wonder too, also for the kids, what the relationship with Nan will be. Because now they're going to have their own struggles now. They don't have their dad to back them up and cover for them a lot of times. Because a lot of times they fucked up and Logan had to be the one to step in. Now they're on their own. I mean, they have their own strengths, but a lot of the times in the past seasons, they've kind of tried to outplay each other. So let's see like how they play nice this season and how they kind of work off each other. It seems like they have a good relationship so far. I mean, they were able to acquire this deal right out of Logan's hands. Right. So it makes me hopeful that they've kind of taken the best bits of what they've learned over the past and kind of just like rebranded themselves in a way.
The two I'm worried about is Siobhan and Roman, because Roman seems like he still feels a little awkward about trying to oppose his father. As we saw when they closed the deal and they were walking and they were like all fist bumping and stuff, Roman seemed a little unsure. And as Siobhan, the only thing is, again, Tom. I don't know. Again, she's a sick puppy. Maybe she finds that he's like super sexy now, like ultra Chad, because he's like, no, fuck you, whatever. I'm going to stay with your dad. So that's why I'm like, God, will Kendell just end up alone again? But I think what is assured is that Gojo might end bad for Logan, that deal, because Logan doesn't know any better about tech. And also rebranding yourself can actually be a detriment to the brand you already have because of your target demographics. So yeah, at the end of the day, maybe Logan this episode kind of sets up the fact that, okay, he might lose this, but I think really it depends on which side of this war you're on, for everybody. And are you on the winning side or are you on the losing side? Or is there even a winner or a loser? Will there be one at the end? I don't know. I think who will actually win is Greg and Connor. Imagine Connor becomes president.
Right. Yeah. Oh God help us all. But actually, going back to what you said, I actually disagree. I think, well, I agree that I'm worried about Siobhan, but I actually think Kendell more than Roman. Roman seems like he's kind of matured, at least in my opinion, over the last 3 seasons. He seems like he's had like a better like grasp on like business relations. Like even this episode, like he mentioned like, okay, like the $500 million, that's still money. Yeah, it's a conversation closer, but at the end of the day, that's still capital we could use to, bump up our business, right? Kendell has a bad track history of kind of falling for like addiction. And now that they've kind of become closer to Pierce, I wonder like what his relationship with Naomi is going to be now. I just hope he doesn't mess it up for them. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
But yeah, any final predictions for this season?
Yeah, it's going to be a full-blown tug of war. I wonder how many locales they'll visit as well. I wonder if this will be worldwide. We get that in the other previous season, so I don't know. Yeah, it's really hard to say. I think this is going to be a really fun yet sad season because it's the last season. I think some big reveals are going to happen, and I know I'm speaking in general, but I'm going off the trailer as well that we get to see at the end, and that's why I really feel like Logan might lose. But I don't think it's as simple as that. So yeah, what are your predictions?
Yeah, I agree. I think this season definitely all the cards are on the table now, and it's kind of like you said, it's all or nothing. Like either side is gonna win, right? There's gonna be only one outcome of this season because it's the last season. And I wonder actually like maybe if Logan maybe passes away this season and it kind of like affects them all in a way.
That'd be sad.
Maybe because they never expected him. Well, I remember like in the first season, he almost had like a heart attack.
Right.
He's kind of had like these like health problems over the last 3 seasons. I wonder if like it'll be even more critical now. Like it's building to like this something so fatal that he can't avoid it.
Right.
And it's like, what do you do without ATN, right? Or the head of ATN. I think Greg definitely is kind of in a position now where he's becoming higher up in the network.
Right.
And Tom also. I think Tom and Siobhan's relationship is definitely going to be rocky in this season. And yeah, I think there could be room to explore that kind of tug of war thing that you mentioned. I wonder if Tom would actually go over to their side, to the Roy's side.
Oh, yeah.
After he sees like he's just another pawn in Logan's war chest.
Right.
But yeah, I think this is going to be a great final season. You and I both love this show so much. I can't wait to see how it ends. But yeah, everybody, that is our review for episode 1 of Succession, season 4, now out on HBO Max. Check it out if you haven't already. Check out our other playlists and our other reviews already. And yeah, Akram, take us away.
Yeah, everybody, this month is ending, but we're still going hard. And boy, oh boy, April, we're going to have a lot of guests on, so be prepared for that. And of course, we're trying to do more episode-by-episode reviews for everybody. So yeah, we have a lot of plans, so be sure to like and also check out our playlist, please. That'll greatly help out the channel. But Dylan, say your thing.
Yep. Thank you guys so much. And until then, thanks for having lunch with us.
Fuck off.